for a year. I only do one a year at the end of the year just because, things don't change around too much. But there's some decent changes this year that happened. I always am moving stuff around and some new shelves and everything. So we're going to just jump into this year's game room tour. If you're new to the channel, which most of you probably will be, my collection, I've been collecting since 2011. So my collection mainly comes from doing garage sales, flea markets, thrift stores, acquiring stuff for very cheap that way. Obviously, like newer stuff, PS5, Switch isn't that way, but I like to acquire stuff for very cheap that way, and then sell stuff I don't want to fund, the newer stuff or maybe higher end stuff, trade stuff off. That's what my channel's all about here, and that is how I build up my collection without spending, too much out of pocket. I'm not loaded or anything, so we'll jump into the game room tour now. I guess I'll start with this wall. Stairs are finally finished. If you guys have been watching the game room tour, this was a basement. It used to be completely unfinished, and slowly over the past couple of years it has been finished now. So first we'll start over here. This is a little bit dark, but I got this shelf. So I will put the shelves in the comments, in the description, because that's one of the biggest comments I get. Where do I get my shelves? I use, for most of my shelving, I'll say what it's not, I use what's called the Atlantic Oscar shelves. There's two different sizes, and I will put the links to those. Those are free links, so they help out the channel, but I will put the links to those in the description. I'll put it in the comments so you guys know what I'm using. I was actually lucky enough to get one of these at a garage sale this year. This one I got at a garage sale this year for $5, which is great, because not only was it really cheap to get, usually they run me anywhere from 80 to 100, sometimes the prices change, but it was already pre-assembled, so I didn't have to spend like 2 hours trying to put this together. But up here I got the Sega Genesis Model 3 in the box. Model 3 was like a church sale find a long time ago, and then the box I actually found in the garage sale, too inside of it, so I don't know what was up there. Samba de Amigo maracas in the box. This was a Goodwill, shopgoodwill.com find years ago when that website was still good. And then I just have some miscellaneous, mostly Sega. This is mostly my Sega shelf. I don't have huge on here. I do have fun stuff on here. But I do have Saturn games. Don't have a huge Saturn collection, but have some, even smaller Sega CD collection. I like this Mega Man Legacy collection. Doesn't have anything to do with Sega, but just a cool box. Long box PS1 games. The rest of the kits we'll collect mostly later, but that's where the long box ones fit, because that's a little bit of a taller shelf. Genesis games. So if you're interested at all in more in-depth look at my collections that I go over, most of them, bigger collections, stuff like Sega CD and Saturn don't, but most of them have more in-depth videos going over every title in my collection, giving some thoughts on them or whatever. But you will find that in the Video Game Collections playlist on my channel. So, end of my Genesis collection, then a few 32X games I